Here we have a beginning of a cab wiring harness from a late model 15 to 20 F-150. This is closer to an 18 to 20 how it's laid out. So this just shows that I take a new harness and then strip all the wrap and everything off of it using plastic ties to keep everything in order. And I take out or add all of those modules or features that I want to save. This is just kind of layout. This particular truck had a lot of extra features like the tow brake controller and electronic locking diff, trailer backup. So it's kind of a loaded, and then here's plugged into the custom cab dash with the inserted 18 to 20 cluster in behind it. And this was like your pedal would be there, steering control, radio control, body control module here. And of course I have the books and everything for wiring. So it's possible to take any of the extra features and add or subtract as needed, just depending on what somebody wants. So here what I'm doing is I'm adding some more features to my 66 F-100 Raptor build, which will include trailer towing, where it'll show on the cluster and such. Just a little bit at a time. On this table here we have the complete cab cluster, the engine compartment cluster, back of cab cluster with the connection for the taillights and such. Here we have the green wrap and wires is usually always driver's side, and the black is passenger side. These are the connectors for the power seats, which I won't be putting in this one, but I plan on using them on the next build. So this here would be considered the right front of the truck. Of course, left front, left rear, right rear is where it would be. Just kind of showing the layout and then how I start and then decide what I want to include and what I want to remove. Here I have the wiring for the body control module, part of that. So what I do is I mark them with the connector number, and then I also mark them with what they are for. So here would be 2280G, which goes to the BCM. And then the connector item number is J7. The 150-258 here is the actual page in the Ford wiring diagram. So if there's everything down the road, it's real simple. What is what? And right now what I'm doing is when I do a harness, I put those tags on first, and then it's easier to remember exactly what something is. Here is the front engine bay harness. These are the connectors for the battery junction box, which would be here. And then the same thing, I take and add and subtract any option or feature that I want to keep. And I figured out how to take each and every connector apart with a special tool that I made, so I can add or subtract or wires as needed. And this is one that's what it looks like when all the wrap is taken off up to this point here. So this versus here. And then like here would be the hood latch. I plug everything in. This is the ABS module and so forth. So then that's what I'm doing now, is I'm going to decide to add, the features that I want to my current truck. And in the next truck I have plans coming up soon will be, I have everything in it. And this is the extra engine that I'll be using. It's 4,000 miles on a 2018, and I'll be using this as the power plant. And the a 1965 F-600 cab that I will put on to the 2018 chassis that this engine came with. It only has 4,000 miles, and it has lots of nice features, including the locker and trailer controls and such. So it just takes up a lot of space in the garage to lay this all out, and then lots of time to figure out how it's all going to come together. So here we have the 2018 F-150 rolling chassis. It's complete. It's, you know, only 4,000 miles on it. So this will be getting the 65 F-250 cab. I'm currently just storing a 66 and a 65 F-100 F-250 cab on it. You can see, so this will have the electronic steering and ABS and every option that this totally loaded truck would have. I just keep the plastic over everything because the frames from Ford, they tend to fade if they're left in the sun, and I just want to keep it nice. So this will have the 36-gallon fuel tank and electronic locking diff and pretty much everything that a new 18 to 20 F-150 will have. And here we have the 1965 F-600 cab that will be going on that 2018 to 20 chassis with the 3.5 Ecoboost, 4,000 miles on it. Along I'll be having a 10R80 10-speed automatic, but this is the cab, so I can pretty much have it on it, and it'll appear to be lowered, you know, without lowering, and I have full suspension travel and such. This is the chassis. It's been Arizona since new, mostly in Tucson, but it's just going to be easier and cheaper to probably have the only F-600 titled as such with Ecoboost in it. Here we have the 1997 F-350 cab that's getting the twin turbocharged 540 cubic inch all aluminum Boss 429, and it'll be four-wheel drive, of course. That's an update here. This is the chassis and the twin turbocharged 540 cubic inch Boss 429 for the 1997 F-350. So, you know, at this point I need to start building the intercoolers and the piping, tubing and such, the headers, engine basically, that are done. Quickie update on the 1966 N-700 crew cab. It runs and drives fantastic. I just need to put brakes on it to have the door off because of the lower hinge pin broke, and it's been just too hot out here to work on it. So this one, you know, the hopeful would be to put a 2022 F-59, like a motorhome type of chassis underneath, so I'll have a full warranty on the drivetrain. Here's the update on the 1966 F-100 Ranger. That was just a total loaded truck. This blue here is a 65 Thunderbird color. And also this truck had a factory 3-speed overdrive. It's one of only two known in a Ranger, bucket seat Ranger, of course. And this is actually a very nice truck. But it's kind of up next to start tinkering with it, get it back together, to get it painted. This is the total completed, ready to roll chassis for the 66 F-100 Ranger. Engine, chassis, steering, brakes, suspension, everything's done. Arizona since new, but since it was ordered through a California dealer, it has factory smog, which I'll also keep. And it had buckets. Instead of a console, it had a seat, the armrest combination, storage. It did have, of course, the dealer add-on air conditioning. It did have power steering, power brakes, and then the 3-speed overdrive. But this, of course, is my 66 F-100 Raptor. I put in about 1,400 miles on it so far, and all is good. But now I've just chosen to add some more features. So I pulled the cab wiring out, and I'm going through all of that just so I can add those features. I already have working TPMS, working PATs, And now I want to get the trailer stuff working. So here we are. The dash and cluster is, of course, out at this point.